Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you had an idea.
Indeed, Deke does. Deke knows that you want to learn about all sorts of beasts, and Deke recently heard rumors of a phoenix nest in a nearby mountain.
A phoenix nest? I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix gnat he mentioned, the one Harlow and the poacher pack are after.
Deke would not doubt it. If Deke has heard of it, surely the nasty poachers have as well, which means it could be in danger.
Well, I'd better go and rescue it then, hadn't I?
Deke thinks so. So majestic a beast should not fall into such vile hands. Deke is not sure why, but Deke feels that saving a phoenix might help to make amends for what happened with Deke's prior master. Deke hopes that you are able to find the phoenix and bring it to the room where it will be safe.
Why is it that whenever I hear from Hogwarts, it's to tell me my child has broken school rules again? I'd like to learn that you're receiving good grades, but no! What did I ever do to deserve this? You are ungrateful, ungraceful, and frankly, unacademic. I am ashamed.
I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted, and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me, and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Smuggling spiders into school? I jolly well hope it was worth the months of detentions you earned yourself. Do yourself a favor and get a real pet, a cat or a toad or just something normal, for Merlin's sake.
I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
I don't blame her for being concerned. We have been involved in some dangerous activities.
As the Ashwinders were locking me up and threatening my life, it did occur to me that my mother may have been right.
Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death?
No. Vengeance is not what drives me. My father would not want that. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight for those who cannot. I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is worth it. I am glad you seem to think so too.
What does your mother think about all of this?
Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She is an excellent seer, but I think it bothers her to this day that she did not see my father's death coming. She misses him, as do I. So I believe on some level she understands my need to seek justice in a small way. But that does not mean that she likes it.
Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing?
Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Revelio. Professor, do you have a moment?
I do.
May I ask what attracted you to astronomy?
You may. Might I assume from your inquiry that you wonder how anyone may have an interest in astronomy?
Oh, not at all, Professor. I find it intriguing and wanted to know more about your work.
Ah, that is good to hear. So often those who do not fully understand all that can be gleaned from the stars question astronomy's relevance. Misperceptions frequently arise due to the confusion of astronomy with astrology, the ridiculousness of which I shall not deign to discuss. To answer your question, it was my dear sister who first sparked my interest in stargazing. The two of us spent countless nights on our rooftops staring at the cosmos. It was one of the only subjects we could study together.
I'm not sure I follow, Professor. Why was that?
My sister is a squib. Clever, hard-working, and generous, but a squib nonetheless. The only non-magical child born to our family in generations, poor thing. Although she manages exceptionally well.
It sounds as if she's a lovely person and accomplished.
She is. And to her credit, while she was once disappointed not to attend Hogwarts, she has excelled in Muggle school. One of the first women, we suspect, to have attended Cambridge, well disguised at the time by our mother as a gentleman scholar. And as astronomy is one subject shared between the Muggle world and ours, she and I have been able to maintain that common interest. We still sneak up to a rooftop now and then to gaze upwards, courtesy of a levitation charm rather than a trellis nowadays.
Thank you for telling me about your sister, Professor.
I was glad to. It is good to be reminded of all that one can accomplish when one embraces who one is. Now off you go. I am sure you've a star chart to review somewhere.
Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts?
I can. That is an easy question. We are here because of Professor Weasley.
You knew Professor Weasley when you were in Uganda?
I knew of Professor Weasley. As you may or may not be aware, Professor Weasley's work once took her around the globe. Without providing detail that is not mine to share, I can say that she was well known in our wizarding community for, well, sharing magical knowledge between countries.
I confess that I'm surprised to hear Professor Weasley would ever do that sort of thing.
I suspect there is much about each of your professors that would surprise and impress you. Such exchanges of information, ministry sanctioned or not, have occurred for centuries. It was an African sorcerer, in fact, who shared the unlocking charm with a certain wizard from London. A thief, rather unfortunately.
I see.
But back to your original question. Professor Weasley had heard of my work and life in Matabeleland and my time teaching at Ouagadougou. She was deputy headmistress at Hogwarts by then, and when the position of divination professor became available, she contacted me. Her timing was perfect. I had just foreseen a change in Nat's size and my circumstances and knew that we needed to leave Uganda. Natsai was as ready as I was for a new adventure. So, off we went.
Natty has spoken of your move. She was quite kind to me my first day here, in Charms.
That sounds like Natsai. I'm glad she has found a friend in you. Now, I must return to my work. As I have told Natsai, do be careful. I had a vision earlier this year of her with a friend, flying on winged beasts. Perhaps unsurprisingly, she will neither confirm nor deny my visions, unless it suits her.
Hello. Are you here for Summoner's Court?
That I am. Don't expect to be as lucky here as you were in Crossed Wands. Speaking of which, care to play a match?
Of course, Charlotte.
Then may the best summoner win. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Grace. Finesse. Accio!
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Didn't I say I adore competition? Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Such grace. Finesse. Accio!
Accio!
Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse.
Protego!
Hard luck.
Absolutely.
Accio!
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck.
Absolutely. Don't...
Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck. Care for another?
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Sting me with a billywig. I'll never top that. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck.
Absolutely.
That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio! Protego! Absolutely.
Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck.
Absolutely.
Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely.
Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Sting me with a billywig. I'll never top that. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Nice technique. Accio! Precisely as planned. I'll remember remember that. Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's the spirit. Precisely as planned.
Accio.
Such grace. Finesse. Accio. Sting me with a billywig. I'll never top that. Accio. Precisely as planned.
Accio.
Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely. Accio.
Such grace. Finesse. Accio. Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio. Precisely as planned.
Accio.
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely. Don't count.
That's the spirit. Accio. Precisely as planned.
Accio.
Sting me with a billywig. I'll never top that. Accio. Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio. Precisely as planned.
Accio.
grace. Finesse. Hard luck. Care for another round?
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned. Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck.
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Accio! Sting me with a billywig. I'll never top that. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
Such grace. Finesse. Hard luck.
Absolutely. Don't count me out yet.
That's the spirit. Accio! Precisely as planned.
Accio!
I'll remember that. Accio! Precisely as planned. Sting me with a billywig. I'll never top that. Accio!
here.
Nice technique.
Wow, you are good.
I'm not too proud to admit when I've lost. Where did you learn to play like that?
I play by intuition, natural skill and all that.
That's been my strategy. I suppose it only gets you so far, though. Well, you've only one opponent left now. I won't say more than that, but let's just say he's the best for a reason.
Revelio.
In today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumphant tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effect it had on the wizard milling industry. Throughout the many goblin battles, countless wizard cloaks were lost. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the bell tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle, it was completed in the early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts.
I've never been so bored in my life as in history of magic.
Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly. Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin-wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Now, where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display here in the bell tower entrance hall. I recommend that all students introduce themselves to this hero of Hogwarts. Grimbold Weft was responsible for some of the most important work done in the Goblin Rebellion of 1752, such as sewing buttons on witches' and wizards' coats.
Abandoning class to wander the halls is in keeping with Professor Binns' manner of teaching.
Witches and wizards have caught cold during the spring that year.
Wagadoo's history is, well, a bit different than that of Hogwarts, to say the least.
Students with a thirst for knowledge would do well to seek him out.
Can you tell me where I might find Grimbold Weft?
Oh yes, Grimbold Weft. Quick with a needle and thread, that one. He's a fascinating artifact of the Goblin Rebellion of 1752. At any rate, he can be found nearby, perched in his case.
Revelio. If you fail history of magic, you're doomed to repeat it. The class, that is.
These bits of broom are all that's left of a witch called Celine Wartnobby. Rumor has it, she was demonstrating her experimental lunar apparition charm. She was never seen again. Perhaps she succeeded. I suppose we'll never know.
What I wouldn't give to be back on a broom right now.
see. Grimbold Weft. I do so enjoy old stories. I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
This is a centuries-old likeness of Pangadon. Fearless mouse hunter and devoted study companion. People have always loved their pets. I find that comforting. At least we're out of the classroom.
Revelio.
Oh, yes. I see you found Grimbold Weft.
Yes, I rather enjoyed seeking him out.
The thrill of the scholarly pursuit. I know the feeling quite well. Now, let's turn our attention to the agreeability and general good nature of Sir Athpuddle. He's also nearby. See what you can learn from him for your next assignment. Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the bell tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather, statues of knights, I should clarify. Keen-eyed students will spot the statue of Sir Athpuddle of the cheerful countenance nestled among the ranks. His fame was not won by vanquishing foes in single combat, nor by slaying bloodthirsty dragons, but rather in training yards and sculleries, where his warm and approachable demeanor was celebrated by old friends and newcomers alike. I encourage everyone
Leave
to
it to
make
Binns
the
to make
waving
the most
statues
interesting
of
school in the world seem dull.
As one would expect, Hogwarts contains no
Where can I find that friendly knight you mentioned earlier?
Oh yes, Sir Athpuddle, or rather the statue of Sir Athpuddle. It can be found amongst the other statues of knights. It's easy to identify, as it's been enchanted to wave at those who take the time to seek it out.
Revelio.
Sir Athpuddle.
Students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts, but they never bother me.
Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Athpuddle.
Ah, well done. Alas, Sir Athpuddle's affability was his undoing. Died instantly trying to befriend a basilisk. Eye contact is not always to be encouraged. So beloved was he that even some goblins mourned his passing. Of course, that did not bode well with the rest of the goblins, most of whom could not abide mourning the loss of a wizard.
Pity goblins and wizards can't get along.
True. But imagine how dull my lectures would be without goblin rebellions to discuss. History does tend to repeat. It is a series of patterns, a thought both comforting and disconcerting. The wise student, such as yourself, will learn from it. History is written by those who do their schoolwork, so they say. Or at least, I like to say that.
How can we do so much and accomplish so little?
Oh,